So happy Mother's Day, as also happy birthday of Shankara, Acharya Shankara. Today is a auspicious day according to lunar calendar. Today is the birthday of Acharya Shankara, who make this Vedanta philosophy, what we are talking about, survive into the hearts of the people, and for generation to come. This Vedanta is still here because of otherwise during the decadence of Buddhism, when Buddhistic philosophy was all ended into intellectual cogitation only, then Shankara had to come to survive, to revive the Hindu religion, Sanatana Dharma. So today our topic is emptiness and ultimate reality. Now, two great souls came in the form of Buddha and Shankara. Buddha's birthday also in this month. That's why we have taken the Buddhistic philosophy to discuss. Buddha's birthday is coming on according to lunar calendar on the 23rd of May. So we thought that we should think of both of them and to nurture our mind into some their philosophies and ideas. Buddha is a person of love for humanity, incarnation of love. Shankara, though apparently seems to be very Advaitic, not this, not this, not this, but he has the embodiment of love also. And love is mother's love, so see how it all connects together. Love is the key point of life, no? And love is Satchidananda. And love is Nirvana, the state of Bodhisattva, Bodha, the state of Bodha, the state of awareness which is taught in the Buddhism. It is called the fullness. It is the Satchidananda self in another language. Of course, Buddhists will not agree with this point, but from Vedanta perspective we reconcile this, that what you see as Shunya, Shunya means void, because void of what? Buddhism says nothing exists. No thing. This thing, whatever I see, this is the one thing, that thing, this thing. This thing with name and form all evaporate there. And you reach a point we cannot say what it is. That's why it is Shunya. There is nothing. And Vedanta also says, not this, not this, not this, not this, not this. Not this, not this, not this, not this, but who says it is not this? There comes Vedanta. Shankara stands on this platform and says, there is a beautiful verse of the Panchadashi. Panchadashi is a Vedanta text. Vidyaranya Muni wrote that book, and he says, Anubhuyante yena tam ko nivarayat. Anubhuyante yena, by which you experience. How can you deny that? You can deny the subject. Can you deny yourself? You can deny, you can say, I am seeing hallucination. Okay, but someone is seeing hallucination. Who is that guy? Who is experiencing joys and suffering? Who is experiencing it is void? Even it is void. Who is experiencing that? Can you deny that? Very, very important point which makes Vedanta and Buddhism stand in the same platform. Buddha says it is a bodhi. Bodha is awakening. Awakening into what? Void? Shunya? Are you whole life struggling to give up everything and they become celibate and they become monk, Buddham Saranam Gacchami, Dhammam Saranam Gacchami, whole life to end in void? Actually, it is an expression. Void is that reality is that who is experiencing, you cannot deny that. You can, just the whole universe can go. I was fainted. Even say, I was fainted. Who is experienced that fainting situation of your life? You say, I was sleeping. Who experienced your sleep? Can you throw it away from your basket? You cannot. You can throw away everything. I'm not the body. Yes, I am now conscious of the body. You go to sleep and you see dream world. No? At that dream time, you can say, yes, I'm not the body. But who is experiencing the dream? Somebody is there. So experiencer, onubhuyante yena, by whom you have your own experiences. You cannot deny that. And that is common for all of us. That's the universal property. It is not for these Hindus or Muslims or Christians or Judaism people. No. It is for every human personality. Cats, dogs, anything you go. Experiencer is there, one. And that is one. And that you cannot deny. Of perception. So even if you give up everything, you end in that. And that is the most blessed place. It is Vedanta says it is Satchidananda. But it is not Satchidananda. Who will say? If you lose your identity, so long you are separate, you can say it is something. But when you go and die into that consciousness, then who will say it is there, it is not there? Who will say it is Sunna? Who will say it is Purna? Purna means full, Sunna means void. Who will say that? You come down from that experience, then you can describe something. That's why when you hear Vedanta says Brahman is Satchidananda, don't think Vedanta is Satchidananda. No, it is not. There is no language to say that. The sages, when they came down, they wanted to express what they've experienced. Use few languages. Sat. It is there. Yes, I saw that. I experienced that. It is all light and consciousness. Yes, I felt that. Not now. I'm coming down. And then it was all bliss. That experience. So it is indicative word. In Vedanta we call it is indicative word. That means it is tatastha lakshana. Lakshana means sign. To indicate certain great thing, you point out to small things, which is we can grasp it. So the language to express that truth, which is beyond all description, and only that consciousness, that chetana, you cannot deny that, whether you know it or not. Now it is here with us, is it not? I am talking, there is some consciousness behind me. That's chetana, who is saying that I am seeing you, you seeing me. Behind back of all of us, that consciousness is, but we are not aware of that. Now, Vedanta says, negate everything, because this is a matter. Why? Why to negate? Because we want that which is eternal. What is eternal and what is non-eternal? What is momentary? What is changeful? What is changeful, we don't like that. Every day we want to hold on our youth, but we cannot. Why? Why we cannot? How many scientific medicines and this and that treatment has come, but no one can hold on the youth, or cannot hold on the old age also, cannot hold on to the youth, childhood also, because it is a changing. That's why we don't want this change. And one day it appears, I was not here in the world, I came in the world, and now I am here, I will not be here tomorrow. So I cannot love this world which is changing. It is anitya. That's why Gita says anityam ashukham. It is of the nature of misery and pain. It is not happy. We cannot be happy in this world because everything in this world, what I am holding on, that is something changing every moment. With the clicking of the time, whether you notice or not, your face is changing, your body is changing, your hunger is changing, your thirst is changing, your desire is changing. Every split second, you are not to be aware of that, but it is happening. So what shall I do with this changing thing? I want to have something stable, permanent. That is the cry of each heart, each soul. We are all seeking for that. We want freedom. We want eternal joy. We want eternal peace. That is the positive way. But how to reach that eternal joy? Everything is permeated with this change. I talked about the bodily change. Now we go to the mind. Is not the mind changing? Look at when you were a kid, where we are now, you're, say, 3 years child, 4 years child, they live in another world. We used to live in that world, but now we live in a different world, but the children are living in their own world. So mind is changing. The child's mind has matured into today's mind. Today's mind will be changed into, so it is a change in the mind. The understanding. I used to understand things in my childhood in one way. Now I understand another way. And you develop more and more, your understanding will be different. So you are not unchanging in your body. You cannot be. Neither this universe, all changing. Neither you can be unchanging in your mind. Today you like something, tomorrow you dislike it. Today you was happy with one type of relationship, friendship, and tomorrow you say, oh my God, I don't want it. So it is always, point is that it is subject to change. Body changes, mind changes, understanding changes, intellect, and ego. Our ego, childhood ego is one time, adult ego is one type. A person with a little qualification, education, his ego is one type. A person who is poor, his ego is different. So this is also same. It is change. Where shall I find peace then? That's why we don't find peace in anywhere. A person who is highly educated, maybe Nobel laureate, he is also unhappy. Because he is not reaching that point where it is unchanging reality. That's the whole philosophy of life, is to reach that point. And Buddha and Shankara all the prophets came to lead us to the path of that unchanging reality. That's why even in the concept of our heaven, I will go to heaven and there will be happiness only. Why happiness? But it cannot be. So even Buddhism and Hinduism will say heaven is not a good place. It will also change. You can go there for doing good meritorious act and stay there for so long, maybe 100 years. But our 100 years is there maybe 100 times, maybe, I don't know, 1 million times, maybe longer period. Okay. Longer time you can stay there. But it kshine punne, when your merit will be exhausted, martalokam, you have to go back. They will drive you, your visa is over, get out. So you cannot stay there. That's why it is a effect of some meritorious activity. And when it is ended, you will have to come back again. Unless we know what is our real nature, what we are. So this is the study here. Theravadic Buddhism, they talk about the Shunyata. They talk about Mahayana Buddhism, refer to the tenet that all things are empty. All things are empty of intrinsic existence. It is intrinsic existence. It is there. There is nothing as such. All things, as we see, they are empty because of that. And may also refer, also in Mahayana Buddhism, Shunyata means a state you will reach. Attain a state of Buddha nature. You become like Buddha. Buddha means Bodha. Bodha means awakening. Bodha means awakening into your own divine consciousness. And teachings, and that is the empty emptiness of all other objective. That's why ultimately it goes to the voidness. Void of the name and form void. But that which is the consciousness, you cannot throw away that out of the existence. So this is the Mahayana Buddhism. They talk about this. Not that whole Buddhism does not mean Mahayana Buddhism. There is a whole facets of the so many diverse ways of thinking, but we are focusing on this philosophical side of it. Now, Shankara, let us talk about a little bit of their life. Buddha came when India's condition. India is a spiritual country, so it explored spirituality again and again and again in different ways. It is all Vedic wisdom, what is in the Vedas. You know, Vedas has divided into two segments. One is called Karma Kanda, another is called Jnana Kanda. Karma Kanda means for the beginners who do some worship and prayer and offering of oblation into the fire worship. It's called homo fire, jagna. That is the first part. People start with that, and then their mind becomes purified. By jagna, what you cannot do? You can, by acting properly, what you can do? You can gain some meritorious benefit, and you can go to your desired, you can achieve your desired objective. As we do work to earn money, earn education, earn skills. So similarly, by jagna idea of offering to God everything, you could gain that merit. But one time you find, even if I get anything I get in the world, that cannot give me permanent satisfaction. Therefore, what am I to do now? How can I reach a point where there is absolute realization? That is the second part called Vedanta. The end of Vedas, or the climax of the Vedic teachings. Vedic teaching says you can do good work. At first do good work and develop yourself and then get the merit. You can be well established in life, you can have money, you can have heaven, you can go to all these achievements what you are craving for through your jagna idea, offering to God. But after that you will find that it is not meaningful because it is not giving me the joy I want. It is ending at certain point. It starts at one point and ends at one point. So I want permanent joy. That is the teaching in the Upanishad part or end part, Vedanta. And there comes this idea. So these two aspects are India's speciality. So when India, at the time of Buddhism, there started the Vedic rituals, the rituals of offering oblation to the fire in the name of God. And there came also, you have to sacrifice. What to sacrifice? Sacrifice your ego, sacrifice your selfishness. But people gradually forget that ideal forget, and they make a symbol. Symbol, okay, give an animal sacrifice in the jagna. It is very easy. You can just kill anybody and can enjoy. But anyhow, that is the sacrifice idea became rampant in the whole of India. India forgot that is this climax thing is not to be absorbed in this world and worldly thing which is changing. You will not be satisfied. To reach that, you have to detach from them and go for a higher understanding and questioning what is the reality. So, Buddha came and saw that whole of India was inundated with the idea of the sacrifice idea, and so much of animal sacrifice was going on everywhere. So his heart felt the suffering of that. And he himself also gave up his kingdom and everything, and you know that story of how he became a Buddha. He saw the miseries of life, old age, disease, old age, and death. He saw that. We also see how many times we have seen our life, but we remain the same old. But Buddha was awakened. He came to the question, hey, what is happening? It is so much suffering. Disease is there, Death is there, suffering is there, and is there any way? He saw a monk with a bright face, nothing in position, but fearlessly roaming around. So he got an indication, and he first started give up all the his like all the assets and all the kingly possessions, and just like a wandering monk left everything behind, and detachment. He learned that to find the truth, you will have to detach, get out of this. It's called renunciation. You give up for the lower thing to get the highest thing in life. And I will have to know the truth. That's why he sat under the bo tree in Bodh Gaya. Is still the saplings are there of that same tree continuing. And see, and then he took a resolution that I shall not get out of this bed, sit, unless I realize the truth. And that strong, firm resolution, I have to know the truth. I cannot live like a ordinary life, birth and death, again and again, suffering and this disease and death. Why to get out? Why not to get out? So he then went to different teachers of that time, but they were all engaged in Vedic rituals and things. And yogis, they could not give him the direction, right direction. So ultimately he took it to himself. So he said, be a lamp unto you. So do yourself. You do your sadhana. Explore who you are yourself. Don't depend on any other. That's why Buddha's greatness is that he said, don't depend on any book. Don't depend on any words of any holy man. Don't depend on anything external. Try to find what is within. And he sat in his asana and took that resolution and tried to go inside. More. Who am I? Who am I? The same process we are talking about. Going into inner understanding of that. And then ultimately, he got illumined. And when he got illumined, he started expressing that joy and give that message. So he left that Bodh Gaya, came to Varanasi and started preaching. And then he had to confront this major problem, this sacrificial fire going on. He said, no, this is not religion. You have to kill your ego, your selfishness, not to kill an animal. Animal instinct in us is symbolized in the animal. But keeping the animal within, you are killing another innocent animal. That is not the ultimate goal. So he had to confront with them. And that's why he said, don't talk about God. Buddha's teaching is very simple. Because the whole world is so much bloodshed in the name of God. So Buddha understood that. Buddha said, don't talk about God. And he didn't talk about God. He didn't talk about any scripture. He says, house is in fire, try to make it fire free. Fire of suffering, fire of pain and agonies and birth and death is going on. Make a way out of it. Forget your God. God is there. He said, did I say that? Someone had questioned him. Is God there? He said, did I say that? Is not God there? Did I say that? What type of response? It is not, you cannot say yes, it cannot say no. You can say yes, no to the objective universe, which is beyond mind. What can you say? That's why he said, his simple instruction was there, that find out who you are. Don't get attached. That is a big philosophy. It is called Pratitya Samutpat Tattva. He says, but why we are suffering? Analyze why you are suffering. Forget God. Don't bring God into equation. Because God, in the name of God, people are always fighting and killing. More bloodshed goes in the name of God rather than in non-natural war and disasters. Therefore, don't talk about God. Then what to talk? Talk why you are here. Why you are here? Who has brought you? He says, because you do not know who you are, that's why you think this is you. So it is ignorance. Why are you ignorant? It's a logical conclusion. It is no religion is necessary, but your mind will tell you the response. Why you are here in ignorance? Because I desire something. Trishna, tanha. I desire to get something. Then why you desire? I desire, I think I am lacking something, I'll get something. And I'll get something means I'll work. I'll have to work something to get something, no? You cannot just sit and work. And work, when you do, work has its good and bad. No work is ever pure. Every work has its negative side also. You do good to few people, you also have to do something to... See, you are walking, you are a good guy, but you are killing so many microwaves. You are breathing. You are not doing any harm to anyone, but unconsciously you are doing that. Karma means good and bad will be simultaneously going on. So that karma. And karma, again, I did this karma, I did this result, I want more. Again, karma brings another desire and another desire. So desire becomes endless, and the cycle of desire puts you to work, and work brings good and bad action. Then you go to heaven or hell, and then come back after that experience, again come back, and then go on. It never-ending cycle. It is called the pratitya samutpat tattva. A cycle of birth and death continues. Because don't bring God. God is kind, God is not necessary. Your own karma, your own thinking, your own way of living, it is creating your karma, your suffering, your joy. Take responsibility. Don't pull on God. Oh, God is so good, why it is happening? Oh, God is coming to do the harm. We are doing all our desire. I want this. Say, brother and sister, how they going to fight and killing? Mom's property, dad's property, at the whole life they don't come to mom and dad. And then one brother, maybe one sister, maybe looking after them. And suddenly another brother comes when he's in the deathbed, then come and tries to see so much service so that he can get the share of more. So it is all selfishness. Where is this question? So this is desire, desire, desire. That's why Buddhism you will listen to that, you will find all of them. Desire, desire, desire. Desire is bad? No, desire is good. Desire, if it is thinking that I desire to know who am I, why shall I be in the cycle of birth and death? Why shall I not be a free soul? Jivan Mukta. I'll wander in the world without caring for anything and in my eternal bliss. How can I not be like that? Be a saint yourself. Why are you thinking of some saint? Some saint is saint, that's good. What does to me? It is good for him, but what for me? So you have to be a saint. You have to be a spiritual personality. So that's why Buddha said, emphasize on, that's why his ideal, noble truths. His principle, 4 problems. There is suffering, and suffering brings all the odds of life. There is way out of the suffering, and some people have done that, follow their path and follow the right means of living so that suffering can be eradicated. So he gave the guidance to the world as 8 noble path, noble path. Think rightly, right understanding. Understand what is life. Understand it is futile. It is moving, it is changing. Don't hold on to that. Like you may continue, but you will get frustrated at the end because everything in the world is full of change. Vedanta will say everything is Maya. Why? It is changing. The same definition. Definition is same. It is Maya. It is changing. And changing thing cannot give me eternal joy. And a momentary thing, momentarily it appears, it can give momentarily joy, but it cannot give eternal joy. So it says, right, understand life. Understand who you are, what you are missing, what foolishly we are spending our life for mundane, trifling things, which is changing tomorrow, Today is so much, tomorrow it is changing, but I foolishly hanging on to that. And I am getting beaten by the world again and again and again. So much suffering. But I forget that. Again, I go for that. So understand what is your problem. The house is in fire. Buddhism says that house is in fire. Don't sit as Pandits, scholars sit together. They will now discuss. The fire, why it has come on the northeast side? It should come on the south side because the wind was blowing like that. And how did it go? By that time the fire is killing almost half your building is gone. Half of our life is gone. Half of our suffering has chewed our lifespan, our energy, our joy. And already, now you think, intellectually decide what is this, what is... just bring water and pour it. Do something now to just cure that problem. So that's why he said, think rightly, understand that we are in difficulty. And how many people can come from outside? No one can help us. We have to help ourselves. So understanding the problem first. Second, if you understood the right thing, then think rightly. How can I get out of it? Right thinking. We are all misdirected. Life goes on. How much energy we spend in our whole life. Had we understood our real nature and directed towards that, it would have been a total time. We all become saints. And sainthood is possible for every one of us. That is Buddha's contribution and Shankara's contribution also. That's called Jivan Mukti. You become free while you are in the body. You can do that by right thinking, right thought, right speech, talk, right thing. We are always talking many things. How many things we say from our early morning till we go to bed. But how many meaningful statements we do? 90% is not so much important, no? Rather you speak less, think more, then your words will be valuable, meaningful to yourself and to others. So he says, right speech. That means abstain from lying, idle talk, slander, and harsh words. Control there. You want to get a very rich prize of self-realization. You have to pay the price. For everything, you get a BA degree, how much you worked hard. BSc degree, how much you worked hard. From childhood to getting a BA degree, how many hours of dedication. So it is tangible thing, it took time. Why not do it for spiritual thing? It will need more. So responsibility on ours to have right speech, right action. Abstain from killing, stealing, sexual misconduct. That is right action. Take in your life. Restrain yourself. And not that you have to be a monk. But not this type of torturing, killing, stealing. This is unnecessary in life. And you cannot get higher spirituality by this. Therefore, right action is necessary. Live a beautiful life. Right living. Avoid that type of living which causes harm to others and cause suffering for others. Butchering, selling, intoxicants like etc. Right effort. Apply right effort in your life to self-discipline, to control of the mind, to avoid other things, mental problems. Right mindfulness. Focus your mind. Concentrate your mind in the right thing. Look at that. If you have to see the whole world, I know it is unreal, it is momentary. Shall we leave this world or go somewhere? No, we will have to live in this world, but right mindfulness, with right mindfulness. Mind should be focused on the goal. What is the goal of life? Goal of life is freedom. So that should be the kept. And what action will be? All oriented towards that. That action which takes away from our eternal self or God consciousness, avoid that. action, take that action which leads you to that realization. But that you should be mindful, otherwise mind will distract again and again and again. And right concentration. Attain mental peace and wisdom to realize the full significance of the noble truth. That is the right concentration. So lead a good life. Take the responsibility of your life. Then what will happen? Mind, when the mind will be pure mind, then mind pure will lead you to a mindless state. Pure mind will lead us to a state beyond mind. You cannot say mind. Mind is mind when? Mind is vacillating between two ideas. Shall I go, shall I not go? Shall I drive, shall I not? Shall I eat, shall I not? It is the function of the mind. This duality, this dwindling of the mind, when it stops, that is the perfect state of peace. So, that how this diversity, this dwelling of the mind can be stopped? By not desiring the mundane things. You desire for the highest thing. So, in this way, when we give up the small, petty things and understand who we are and what is the ultimate goal, total freedom, freedom from death, suffering, birth, and all these calamities which comes in our life, to get out of that is the goal of life. So focus on that, live like that, and you will be illumined. Both our consciousness will be awakened. Ultimately, when the mind will be purified. That's why in Buddhism and Hinduism, they emphasize on mind. That's why you see mindfulness, meditation in Buddhism is so popular, no? You go for anywhere to concentrate the mind, control the mind so that it comes to a concentrated focus and not run here and there. For Hinduism, Buddhism, meditation is a very important factor for that. So this, and then ultimately you reach that point of state where no fluctuation of the mind has become calm and serene. Yoga Sutra, Patanjali Yoga philosophy says, Tada drashtu sharupa avasthanam. Then your mind becomes so calm, you can see the inner light. You see, go to a lake when the surface is rippled. And think of full moon night. Full blaze of moon's light is falling, but you cannot see the moon reflected because the surface is so much rippled. Our mind is rippled like that all the time. In 1 minute, probably we do thousands of thoughts. In 1 minute, we have the capacity to think about the thoughts, ideas come. So that's why we don't see the full reflection of the moon. So the full light within. But when it becomes perfectly calm, then you attain that knowledge and wisdom, and you see the light perfectly in its own glory manifesting inside. Buddha did this. And Shankara, then Buddha came in that time and he stopped this slaughtering of this, and also he said, love everyone, because everyone, there is this common consciousness. And Karuna is the one of the major teaching of Buddha, to be compassionate, to love everyone. And because that is this, people become selfish, that's why they go to the path of hatred and killing and this and that, just take the opposite way. So ultimately he stopped that, and then he established a path of renunciation. Then what happened? Renunciation means Buddha's impact was so deep, he being the king of the country and became a monk and illumined, and when he went to the length and breadth of India, he preached this philosophy of awakening, right action, right thinking, right understanding. He preached that philosophy, and his life was a blazing life of detachment, renunciation, and his face shining to prove that there is the reality, and that is expressed through his personality. So people were all running for becoming a monk. But that is not the way. The whole world should not be monk. How the creation will go on. No? And not necessary. You be in the world, but detach. So Shankara then came. He saw that this whole world has become Buddha. And Buddhang Saranang Gacchami, Dhammang Saranang Gacchami, Sanghang Saranang Gacchami. Good. But if young boy of 5 years, Buddhang Saranang Gacchami, he is a monk. His head is 7 and he got the mantra and he became a monk. What he understands about? No, it is holy, so you have to be a monk. Not knowing what is monk, total celibacy, total desirelessness, these are to be practiced. So it became a ritual, and naturally mind was drifted from the focus of mindfulness to something else as in the world again. So decadence of Buddhism came. At every religion it happens. When the powerful people come, they boost their whole religious, shook the whole religious culture, and time again it goes down. And then again another booster is necessary. So again Sankara comes. That's why Hinduism always say, in time, another time, same reality appearing in different time to solve the problem of the time. Then Sankara came. Sankara had to face two problems. One problem is the Vedic karma kanda, still prevalent. Still prevalent now. And the Buddhism, and the impact of Buddhism destroyed all these ritualistic practices of Vedas. So Vedas are forgotten. No one chants Vedic mantras. So he then, before Sankara came, there, the Karmakandis came and they revived the Vedic Karmakanda. That means revived again the Vedic mantras, chanting mantras and oblation started. But they are preaching that is the Veda. But that is not the Veda. Veda is the wisdom part. So Sankara has to face two challenges. One, his fight was against Buddhism, and people saying only nothing is there, nothing. So the whole world become a mismatch of the realization, and the intellectual people only started debating with each other. It is dry, rational controversies created by, and everyone, no one going to get peace, no one going to get Bodha, no one getting to realize the Supreme Self, but all are messed up into the argumentation and cross-argumentation, and who will be giving a good argument, he will win. This is useless, dry scholasticism. Then Sankara came. Sankara said in his own life, he realized the truth, and he went to his guru and had the experience of the highest, and went to Samadhi, and then he came down and he preached this Vedanta. He said, this world, this karma kanda is not the ultimate goal. Through karma kanda, doing these rituals, you can attain material gain, material benefit. Even you can get heaven. But this, you have to come back again. So find out what is real, what is unreal. Nitta, anitta, vastu vichara. He taught that you have to understand same principle. As Buddha said, what is permanent, what is non-permanent. But here, permanent is Satchidananda. But Buddha didn't say about Satchidananda. He said only impermanent. And here he says, I am not the body, not the mind, not the intellect. Mano buddhi chitta ahankara ninaham. Nacha shrotra jubhe, nacha grana netre. Na bhoma na bhumi, na tejo na vayu. Chidananda rupa, shivoham. I am not the body because it is changing. I am not the mind. Same argument what Buddha was giving, the same Sankara gave the same argument. But mind, buddhi, I am not the five elements by which the body is made, air, water, fire. I am neither this, I am neither this. But what I am? Chidananda Rupa Shivoham Shivo. I am of the nature of Chit, consciousness. I am the nature of Ananda. I am bliss. I am that. If I can withdraw from my mind here, that is all joy, all joy. So I am that, not this. And they propagated all over India, walking in the feet, and preach this Vedanta philosophy, that know yourself. Here is also knowing yourself as divide. He didn't talk about God realization. Shankara says God. Today is Mother's Day. Shankara composed many songs of Divine Mother. Annapurna Stotra in the beautiful Ganga Stotra. That means all mother aspect of the divine. He preached, and that is devotion and knowledge mixed together. But his philosophy is non-dual Vedanta, which is called, main philosophy is Vivartavada. What is Vivarta? Vivarta means you see one thing, but you don't see. You see with your mental projection. There is someone, one person is sitting over there, you can think something in your mind because of not clear vision. You can think something else. The person remaining the same, your perception may be different. Therefore, you remove your own personal impressions out, then the thing you see, that will be there only one reality. We see the world, it is all divine, Satchidananda, but only our mind is projecting this. This is called projection theory. It's called Vivartavada. Vivartavada means that philosophy which says, without changing the material, your perception is different. You are seeing the rope, but you are thinking it is snake in the darkness. You are going in the darkness, there is a stump tree. In your darkness, you think there is somebody, there's a bad guy is standing there, or a ghost is standing there, or my friend is waiting there. But when you go, you see it is a stump tree. Without changing the stump tree, your conception is becoming different. You see, one young girl is moving in the street, one affectionate father who lost his daughter maybe, looking at that girl, what emotion will come? He will think of the daughter. Another person will say, oh, my sister. Another person, my beloved. Another might say, lustfully look at the girl. All changing. Everyone is seeing so many things, but person remaining the same. So that's why it is, whole world is permeated with God. Satchidananda. Only our perception is different. And like in the waking state, I am seeing this world. Now, when I go to sleep, in the dream world, this world vanishes. Another world is created by my mind. And I am equally affected by those joys and suffering and pleasure and pain there. Hunger and thirst and all this. But then when we go to deep sleep, we forget this world, dream world, everything gone. And you feel, I was very happy. I slept very deeply yesterday. Because you went back to yourself. And behind this ignorance is there, and veil is there. And on this side is the effulgent self, Atman, joy, Satchidananda, Ananda, bliss, consciousness and peace. So when you go and touch that, suppose I put my hand from here, I can feel the heat, but you go closer and touch here. You feel the heat more. So we feel the joy in deep sleep because we go close to the light, effulgent light in us. But we come back because we say, I slept well, but I do not know when you called. That means ignorance is a veil. I do not know. That much is the veil. That's why we go every day to that our own home, but come back, the old guy, same suffering guy. But change this, Shankara says, change this, moves consciously. I am not the body, not the mind, not the consciously move. In your meditation we do that. You sit for meditation and think, I am not the body, not the mind, and I am not the. So you don't see, close your eyes, don't hear, close your ears, and then try to withdraw, and go to your own inner chamber of the heart. And if you can go really forgetting everything, the whole world, only remaining in that consciousness, then you will reach a state of connection with that. Then comes Aham Brahmasmi. I am that. Thou art that. That experience will happen. And that is called the Nirvana state. In Vedanta, we will say Satchidananda state, Jivan Mukta state. And that is the... So, both the philosophies are ending in the same. One approach is not this aspect. Another is everything is that, and not the apparent world true, but this visible universe is a reflection of that totality, and it is only God is peeping in through all the existence, to the trees, to the plants, to the human being, everywhere, to sun, moon. His light is peeping, and we have to develop that pure mind to get into that state beyond the three states of existence. I can just discussed about that, to know who am I. Then it will reach that point which is called self-realization, which is called the Brahma Jnana, and attaining to that you become a free soul, Jivan Mukta, because you know these are all momentary, only the reality is that, and that is an experience, personal experience, and go beyond this duality of life, then attain your own spirit. So Buddha and Shankara expressed emptiness, empty of this, and Shankara says it is Satchidananda. But they meant the same thing. Ramakrishna said that why Buddha will be atheist? Buddha could not express what he have experienced. And in Hinduism, they say it is abang manasa gocharam. Mind cannot describe it. Speech cannot express it. It is that reality. Because it is so vast. Mind dies. Your measuring stick goes on. My mind is a measuring stick. How big? But it dies before that. So who will then measure? So there is no measurement there. It is infinite. And that is you. So these are the two theories. So we have to struggle hard, throughout our life to understand this philosophy and to make it a meaningful life. Otherwise the life will be all living in void and void and void. But we are not void, but we are also full. The same is void is expressed in Ananda. Void and full are only expressions, different way of expressing the same truth. But reality is the same. Thank you all.